The video begins with a burst of motion, an ultra-close macro shot of tangled, discarded copper wires glowing under harsh industrial lights. Dust shimmers in the air as mechanical claws descend, grabbing huge bundles of scrap cable. The camera zooms out to reveal mountains of old wires stacked inside a colossal recycling yard. Trucks continue to arrive one after another, tipping massive loads of copper scrap onto the sorting floor. A robotic siren blares, conveyors activate, and the entire recycling line roars to life. High-speed drones sweep across the factory, weaving between gigantic machines. The floor vibrates beneath the thunderous rhythm of shredders, separators, and melting furnaces. A glowing text appears. Millions of feet of copper wire. Reborn. The first phase begins with raw scrap intake. Excavators fitted with magnetic grapples unload tangled loops of wire, placing them onto steel platforms. Conveyor belts surge forward, dragging the wires into automated sorting tunnels. AI-powered cameras instantly scan each bundle, analyzing thickness, insulation type, and metallic composition. Robotic arms respond in milliseconds, separating insulated cables from pure metal strands. The entire room pulses with synchronized mechanical movement, a perfectly choreographed industrial ballet. The wires drop into the shredding bay. Massive, rotating blades tear through insulation and metal alike, exploding the tangled mess into fragments. Sparks flicker as copper meets steel. Plastic insulation bursts into a rain of colored particles. Air knives blast the lighter plastic upward, carrying them into filtration ducts, while the heavier copper pieces fall onto vibrating tables. These tables shake violently, forcing the copper to settle into dense layers, ready for precision sorting. Magnetic drums rotate overhead, catching any hidden steel or iron pieces. Laser scanners inspect each grain of shredded metal, ensuring only clean copper moves forward. If contamination exceeds even a fraction of a percent, gates slam shut, diverting the faulty batch. But when everything aligns perfectly, copper granules flow down the chute like a glittering river. Next is the cleaning and pre-refining stage. Huge rotary drums spin continuously, washing copper fragments with purified water. Jets blast away grease, dust, and microscopic impurities. Steam clouds billow across the factory, illuminated by powerful overhead LEDs. Robotic arms stir the mixture, ensuring every piece is washed perfectly. After cleaning, the copper enters high-temperature drying tunnels, where superheated air strips away moisture. The granules tumble out of the tunnel, shimmering, clean, dry, and ready for melting. Copper flows into stainless steel silos towering above the melt floor. Vibrations echo through the building as automated feeders regulate the perfect amount of copper entering the smelters. The furnace doors slide open, revealing blinding white-hot flames. The temperature spikes instantly. Copper granules rain into the chamber, melting like falling embers. Thermal cameras track the transformation in real time as solid metal becomes molten fire. Inside the furnace, molten copper swirls like a living organism. Technicians monitor readouts behind protective glass, adjusting heat and pressure as algorithms recommend. The surface of the molten pool glows inferno orange. Slag skimmers glide across the surface, pulling away impurities with robotic precision. A slow-motion shot reveals molten sparks leaping upward as skimmers scrape the surface clean. When purity reaches the target level, often above 99.95%, robotic ladles plunge into the molten pool, scooping glowing liquid metal and transferring it to the casting line. Copper exits the furnace in blazing streams, flowing through refractory channels into casting molds. The casting process is mesmerizing. Molten copper pours into continuous molds, forming thick, glowing rods. Cooling jets blast against the rods, sending clouds of steam erupting upward. In seconds, the once liquid metal solidifies into bright red bars still radiating intense heat. Automated rollers grab these bars, stretching them forward into the drawing machines. The drawing machines are the heart of the rebirth. Massive rollers apply enormous tension, pulling the bars into thinner and thinner wires. As the rods stretch, they transition from dull red to brilliant orange, then finally to reflective metallic copper. High-speed cameras monitor diameter consistency, sending data to central AI systems. Any slight deviation triggers instant micro-adjustments to torque and pull rate. The wires glide through long water tunnels, cooling rapidly in dramatic bursts of vapor. Macro shots reveal perfectly smooth copper surfaces emerging from the mist. Robotic arms guide the wires into enormous motorized spools, which rotate rapidly, winding miles of newly formed copper with flawless uniformity. The glow fades as the wire cools, replaced by a polished metallic sheen. Quality control is relentless. Tensile tests pull copper wires to the brink of snapping. Conductivity tests send electrical pulses racing through the coils. Lasers engrave purity codes and batch numbers along the wire surface. Technicians examine cross-sections under microscopes, verifying grain structure and crystallization. Every coil must pass strict tests before moving to packaging. In the packaging hall, robotic arms lift the finished coils onto wrapping stations. Transparent industrial film spins around each coil, sealing it tightly. Labeling machines print traceability QR codes. Palletizers stack the coils onto wooden pallets with perfect alignment. Strapping machines clamp the stacks tightly using thick steel belts. Forklifts glide through the aisles, transporting pallets toward the shipping docks. The distribution sequence is a cinematic highlight. Pallets glide through automated scanning gates that verify weight, dimensions, and destination. Trucks reverse into loading bays. Hydraulic lifts push pallets into container trailers. Outside, a drone captures rows of trucks lined up like an industrial orchestra. Engines ignite simultaneously, and the convoy rolls out towards ports and warehouses around the world. In the port sequence, giant cranes hoist the sealed containers into cargo ships. The ocean sparkles below as containers stack in perfect grids. Ships pull away from the dock, creating a cinematic wide shot as the recycling factory fades into the background. The final section reveals the reborn copper's new life. In electronics factories, copper wire threads through circuit boards. In EV production lines, copper lines connect battery modules. In power plants, massive copper coils generate electricity. In skyscraper construction, workers pull long copper lines through conduits deep inside concrete walls. In data centers, copper distributes energy to entire server farms. The last shot returns to a close-up of freshly manufactured copper wire glowing under studio lighting. The camera slowly pulls back to reveal hundreds of coils stacked in symmetrical rows, gleaming like new. Text fades in softly. Millions of feet of copper wire, reborn into the modern world. Fade to black.
I've been here since 9, but I heard the director is amazing.
Yeah, I know. I'm just excited to finally get in there.